Okay, story time, y'all. To the time in which I met somebody who would completely change my life. Right? 5.5 years ago, I met someone. Okay? I fell in love with someone. And this same person decided to take that love and do the worst thing imaginable. Right? During that time period, I endured getting beat on. I endured getting my teeth knocked out. I have been stabbed multiple times, the entire left side of my body, arms and leg, maced, damn near electrocuted, chased, almost ran over. I've had family members witness this, friends. It was a dark time for me. All right, God saw either I was going to leave or I was going to die. So he pushed me to the brink of death so I could understand how valuable my life was. And I bled out on a hospital table. Okay? And they almost couldn't stop the bleeding because it almost hit a main artery. But here's the thing. God had other plans. He said, no, my child, you shall live, but you need to find purpose because you are lost. Right? So while I did survive that, unbeknownst to me, I came home to reclaim my life, but it was already too late. God had his wheels in motion. His lesson was getting ready to be taught. I called them to break up because I had finally been at my wit's end. But here's the thing about God's timing. It doesn't matter when you're done. When he says you're done is when you're done. All right? Understand that. And I found out the hard way. Real bad. In that moment, we started arguing. They didn't want to leave my house. They started to attack me. and it didn't matter what I said. He was always going to look at me evilly. He kept the knife and mace on him. This was his power of abuse. This was his way of keeping control. Right? But I had had enough. So I kicked it out of there. I kicked it away. Took the bag from him. So he attacked me. Right? In my own house. So I'm trying to restrain him. Someone heard all the commotion and called the police. Police came out. He ran out the house. Gave the police a false statement. A couple days later, the sheriffs come. They squatted up on me. Right? They came in guns blazing. 7 a.m. in the morning, kicked in my door, busted my windows, raided my home, put me up against the wall at gunpoint, and took me to jail off of a bench warrant for my arrest for getting beat on. Oh, wow. Yeah. It took me almost 2.5 weeks to find out why I was being detained and what was happening to me. It was a very, very troubling time for someone who had never been in trouble before. Yeah. Ask anyone who knows me. I don't do the popos. Not where we from. Nah, buddy. But see, the thing about that is I spent 30 days in jail the first time when I first got arrested, right? Because we could talk about the arrest in another video. That'll be a part 2. But I spent 30 days in jail the very first time in order to try to secure answers and figure out what was going on. Then when we found out what was happening, the state messed up. So I was appointed a lawyer a private attorney at that. And where you would think she would do her job, because it was pro bono, of course, and I'm a black man in America, I got the bare minimum. I laid out the facts. I laid out the evidence. No one did the footwork and no one did the research. There are county files, there are state files in which people have been definitely locked in on. And it's crazy. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when the American justice system fails you, okay? Pay attention closely. I went to jail for 30 days for something that I didn't do. Got released on pretrial level 4 in the state of Maryland, PG County, to be precise. But the courts were so backed up that it took them almost a month to get me out. All right? Took them so damn long, usually longer than it usually takes, to make a decision like this. The court ordered me pretrial level 4, okay? So the state paid for it. I came home. Immediately was told I could either get a job or go to work. I found a way to do both. All right? If I'm going to be stuck in the house, I got to at least have something to show for it. So I went and applied. I got a job at Home Depot. All right? Also enrolled in school, pharmacy tech. I wanted to learn how to push pills. Legitly. But it happened. All right? Boom. 4 months. 4 months. Minding my business. 4 months of minding my business. Okay? Instantly got popular. Ended up going from cashier to head cashier position. Alright? Because I'm amazing at what I do. How about, unbeknownst to me, I was being stalked. So far as though that my crazy ass ex decided that he was going to apply and get hired at my same job without me knowing. How did I find out? I showed up to work one day, ready to inform my team that we're going to do a good job under new management. And who walks in? You can only imagine how that went. It lasted for about 30 days. Started harassing my friends, my coworkers, and me. So much so that I had to take it to upper management. Ended up getting fired, right? Not before this same person that I spent 2.5 years with, who knew quite a lot about me, right, decided that he was going to hack my emails and my bank account and all my social medias, lock me out, and take control of everything. Stole my money and decided that he was going to email himself threatening emails to make it seem like I did it. Okay? Now, because we don't communicate through email, I didn't know anything about these. Who checks their emails when you don't send any emails? But, yeah. I ended up getting a call one day from my probation officer. Called in for a question for something I didn't do. Ended up getting framed. I go back to jail for the next 8.5 months. Now, by this time, the damage is done. Right? 8.5 months, I feel cooked. I'm looking at 5 years, 5 to 10, for something I didn't do. Okay? And I can't seem to get legal representation or help. Sound familiar? Well, guess what? I was experiencing this for the first time. And it wasn't fun. Okay? Stick around for part 2.